Hey, guess what day it is?
It's Thursday.
Yeah,
Did I get it right?
1 o'clock.
Okay.
Good,
I
good
got it right.
job.
Yes, I'm
Good.
fighting off that Alzheimer's.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Hey, glad to have you with us. And by the way, thanks a lot for the comments. Because we got some real interesting comments from the over the last week. And it's been
Well, it's an
interesting.
interesting show.
Yeah, it was an interesting show. It was a fun topic and all. And I did there were actually a couple people that said, Stuart, there's something different about you. Yeah.
Ah, it
And
wasn't
what,
the fact that you didn't have a shirt on.
yeah, I mean, the fact that I was half naked, didn't really matter. Somebody says, where's your glasses? Hey, I'm a new man. I'm a new guy. Had
I'm living with a new man.
cataract surgery is absolutely incredible. And I have seen the world now differently than I have for almost 70 years. I've worn glasses, and all of a sudden, no glasses except maybe sunglasses outside.
Amazing, huh?
It is truly, truly
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, it is. It seems
And
really, it seems like I have a new man in my bed.
whoa, I
Well,
don't
it's not so bad,
I, I
but it's
I don't
but at least it's you.
what was wrong with the old man?
There was nothing wrong with the old man.
As what's his name says, don't let the old man in.
There was nothing wrong with the old man. I didn't even
Yeah,
think, but it is a
yeah.
change.
No,
It
is
is a
that why the other
change.
night you said, come on over here? My husband's not home. No, it really is. And a big, big shout out to Dr. Judith Kirby of Kirby Eye Center here in Dallas, who is my new angel.
That's your new girlfriend.
Oh, she made the process so easy. I mean, somebody's going in with a knife into your eye to
Well,
implant
don't think
a
about it
new
like that.
lens, and it could be something that could be a little bit squeamish. She and her staff and the people at the surgery center and all were just incredible. And it's and I guess one of the reasons I'm even mentioning it is that as we get older, almost everybody is eventually going to be a candidate for
Right.
cataract surgery. Don't be afraid of it. I mean, years ago, it was probably closer to major surgery. Now it's a 15-20 minute procedure. And
That's what they say.
and
Easy in, easy out.
I'll tell you, I walked out of there the next day because they put a patch over your eye the next day they take the patch out, and all of a sudden I could see. They handed me that little card, and when I went back for the recheck, it says, can you what line can you read? And I went for the first time in my life to the very bottom of the card
I mean, I was even surprised
and
with
read
that.
the letters.
Yeah.
Unreal. Amazing.
I couldn't really
So,
see her baby blues.
yeah, old Blue Eyes is
Yeah,
back.
yeah. You
And
are.
we don't mean Sinatra. But
Well, I'm glad you're doing well.
thank you.
I know you've waited a while for this.
Yeah.
I don't know why you waited. Like
I
50 years.
I honestly have to admit, I put it off at least a year or
Ridiculous.
two more than I should have.
Ridiculous.
Because now that I'm here, why didn't I
You
like
should
a
have done
lot
it
of people
sooner.
say I should have done it years ago. I know, but anyway. So we were talking earlier about learning a foreign language, and
Yeah, we were.
for a couple of reasons. And you took a foreign language. Was it mandatory when we
Yeah.
went to about back in this?
It was mandatory, I think, for
60s,
1
70s?
year, but I ended up I tried to take 3, and French 3 was tough.
I took 2 years of German in high school, and then when I went to college, you had to take a year of a language. I Because I took German in high school, I signed up for German. I had a heck of a time with German, and some of the people, some of my fraternity brothers says, German, are you crazy? That's hard. Why don't you take Spanish? That's
Yeah.
easy. Everybody speaks. After 6 weeks of Spanish, the professor said, could you please drop this class? You are just destroying the curve.
Well,
And I just,
not for everybody.
yeah. So I went back and I did take that year of German.
You know, yeah.
And then, of course, I moved to South Florida, and there is not much of a German community. In the Midwest, there
Yeah,
was
right.
not much of a German community. Spanish, yes, not much of a German. And then we now live in Texas. Well, you got to get down towards Austin and now around New
There's still,
Braunfels or
no,
Fredericksburg.
I mean, there's still a very good majority of Spanish in this area.
Well,
where
yeah,
we
but not
live.
German. That's
Oh, I'm sorry.
like
not German,
like
yeah,
how many
yeah.
other than walking into a French restaurant, you haven't, used
Right,
your
no,
French at all.
no. But yeah, you're German, you're right. You have to get down south.
So having taken French in high school, and I took German in high school and all, if you were to take another foreign language now, what do you think you might
No doubt
Which-
Spanish,
take
because
Spanish?
there are more people speaking Spanish, and I could use it all over the United States.
Yeah, almost all over the
And
world.
Florida, when I go to visit my family in Florida.
Right.
Um,
And also there's a lot of bilingual signage
Yeah.
going up because Spanish is the second most popular language.
I think that they should make more languages mandatory for the kids these days. I don't think they are. I don't know. We haven't reached the high school yet with our grandson. We will next year.
Yeah, I don't know
But he's
whether
not taking a language next year
in
freshman year.
freshman year.
No.
And that's interesting because that's usually when you have it, when you take it.
So I don't know that they're making a language
Yeah.
mandatory anymore. And
Well-
I think they should. I think that's wrong.
Well,
Because look at all the kids, all the other kids in all the other schools across the world. They all seem to know 1, 2, 3 languages. And
Well-
the English is definitely
well,
one.
stop and ask yourself, for instance, where we live, it's quite a diverse ethnic community.
Right.
And some of these kids speak two languages in their homes. They speak English and Spanish.
Right.
They speak English and Arabic. They some of the Far Eastern languages, Asian
Mhm.
languages. The kids
Mhm.
go to school with these kids, and I think maybe that's where they start to pick up some of that interest in the foreign languages. But if it's not being taught in the schools, and maybe to a certain degree it's an elective, then some of the kids decide maybe they're going to take it as an elective.
Well, our grandson goes to school with all nationalities now. It's just across the board.
Yeah.
And I do think that it would be wise for the schools to make it at least 2 years mandatory of a language.
Yeah, or
And-
or even if it is, make it optional, so that some kids might say, I want to go into international law, and so I want to learn 1 or 2 foreign languages.
Actually, translating is a fabulous career.
Yeah.
But I don't think the kids know that. I really don't. I don't think much emphasis is paid on that.
And it's interesting because on a personal level, my other show, Someone You Should Know,
Mhm.
I have a guest coming up at the end of this month, and all, who was born hearing,
Mhm.
but due to an accident when she was, I think, 10 years old, she lost her hearing.
Mhm.
And so she learned sign language. It's called the American Sign Language, ASL.
Mhm.
And she became a teacher and works with hearing as well as deaf students.
Wow.
She speaks very well, but she also uses closed captioning a lot when she does things. And she is on a mission with a lot of other people across the United States to get American Sign Language considered a foreign language and taught in the schools, either mandatory or as an option. And stop and think about that.
Yes.
I would imagine, to learn Japanese or Chinese or Russian or Arabic, would be pretty tough. Sign language actually is an international language.
Mhm.
There's
Everyone
variations on some of the signing, but for the most part, ASL is an international language. And to me, it makes really good sense that if you wanted to learn a foreign language, ASL would be a good one
Yeah.
to learn.
No, that's a very good idea. Oh, I'm anxious to hear the program.
Yeah. And, look what's happened in a lot of you can turn on, for instance, even when there's a presidential
Yes, they have sign
broadcast.
language, yeah.
Down in the corner of the screen, you see somebody who is signing for the hard of hearing population, and that's
That's true.
growing. We went to a concert
I was just gonna say that,
in Indianapolis, as you was to
many
see
years
the-
ago.
Yeah, it was to see the Temptations
Yeah.
and the Four Tops.
Yeah,
And they had two young ladies that were just off to the left of the stage that were signing
yeah,
as the performers were singing. And the two girls that were signing, they were as animated
yeah,
as
yeah, it
the
was great.
performers.
And
And
they use it at theater now.
you're doing
in
it
plays.
in theaters, and it's interesting too, because I've never been a huge fan of opera,
Mhm.
because again, most opera is in foreign languages, and so you can't follow the
Right.
lyrics as easily. But if they have sign language in the theater
Mhm.
along with the opera, telling you what the libretto is all about,
Mhm.
if you're hard of hearing, or even if you're are hearing but you know sign language, you can follow.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
It's really kind of
It really
interesting.
does.
And
Did you find it difficult to learn?
it's challenging. It is. A lot of it is basic stuff, and it makes like saying hello. This is hello.
Yeah,
And obviously goodbye.
right.
The sign for yes is you just take a fist and but thank you. A lot of them make sense, but to get into a conversation,
Yeah.
it's actually very entertaining to watch deaf people communicating with
Yes,
each other.
I know, I've seen that.
And they've got their naughty words. What Rachel will talk about on the show too is they use their facial expressions a lot, because you can make a point a certain way with sign language, but if you are very, very emphatic about it, you use facial expressions too. And well, we do that
That's true.
as a
Yeah,
speaking
that's
society
right.
very often. But I think if I had, just on a whim to learn a foreign language, there's something about Italian that
I could
you
see
know,
you with Italian.
I would be interested in learning Italian. And again, I don't live in an Italian community and all, but if you were ever going to have a chance to visit foreign countries and everything, Italian is just a beautiful language to listen to. German is actually a very harsh language
Yes, it is.
to listen to.
Yes,
French is beautiful
it's a
to
beauty. It
listen
is. It is.
to two people speaking French.
Well, you just like your pizza.
Well,
You want to be able to order your pizza in Italian.
yeah, instead of oh, a little bit of mozzarella on my pizza. It'd be mozzarella in English, in Italian is the same
Yes.
as it is in English. Mozzarella. You just have to put a little
Emphasis, a
a
little
little emphasis in it, yeah. And also in Italy, they talk a lot with
with
their
their hands.
hands.
Yeah. So you wouldn't want to go on with any more sign language? You did what, a couple of years?
I actually took two semesters of sign language at the community college,
Yeah.
and folks, if you want to learn sign language, a lot of the community colleges have ASL programs, and you can get into it and take a beginning ASL class and see if you like it and if you want to go on to advanced.
Well, there's books.
There are books, but I'll
Is it
tell
too
you,
difficult to
yeah,
the
it's
book?
just like I don't know whether I could learn a foreign language from Berlitz or
Yeah, I was just gonna add that, yeah.
There's nothing like being with a person to have that
One-on-one or that conversation with.
eyesight and to
Yeah.
share the conversation that way.
Yeah, I get that.
Would you what other language would you?
Well, I
Well,
think
you
just
said
Spanish. I think
Spanish.
that would be the main one, so that I could speak to some people here in Frisco that I know speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
that would be it. But as you get older, it's harder to remember. I mean, I remember when I went for my real estate license, and that was about what, 15 years ago.
long time. More than
And
that.
was it?
Yeah.
And it's hard as you get older to retain all of that.
Sure it is.
I'm not sure that I could use the language to the proficiency that I could speak it well.
Well, that's why I think some people learn a foreign language is because they intend to use it,
Right.
either in business
Yes.
with
That makes sense.
international conversations,
Yeah.
and or they're going to travel
Right.
and use it. It's a good idea, and of course, I mean, I speak some Spanish.
Yeah, the only way we could
Yeah.
really do it is if we both learn the same language, so that maybe we
Yeah.
could speak it to each other.
I mean, I know how to say quesadillas
Oh,
and
I
enchiladas
think that's not what I was referring
and
to.
tacos.
Our friends that just moved to Mexico, Steve and Nancy,
Yeah.
they
Well,
they've picked it up. They've been speaking it. They've been going to school for the last year or two.
right.
And
Well, but they are living in Mexico now, so
yes,
not only
it
would they
makes it
have
easier.
learned some beforehand, but just wherever they go
Yeah.
conversationally,
True.
you point to something and I call this bread. What
Right.
what the Spanish for? Once you say it, I mean, for instance, probably we could go to almost any foreign country. The first word that you learn is bathroom.
Bathroom, water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agua,
Yeah.
baño.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that we knew right away.
you learn that,
Yeah.
and you retain that.
Yeah, that one you don't
More
forget.
out of need.
Right, exactly, exactly.
But one thing is, we hope this show is not a foreign language to you. You're welcome to come in and speak to us at any time. And if you want to learn a foreign language, go out
for
and
it.
do it. I
Go
mean,
for it.
you can do it with CDs. You can
Mhm.
do it with books. You can do it. But the fun part of is, I think, to enroll in a class, and whether it's offered through your school system or a community college or a university, that if there's one in your town, I'll think about doing it. And again, I would encourage you to consider ASL, because it's a very worthwhile
Yeah.
foreign language really to learn.
Yeah, I can't wait to see your show.
Yeah,
That'll be
it's going to be a
interesting.
good show. Rachel Zemak is a wonderful lady.
Good. Looking
So,
forward to it.
okay. Go out, make it a good one. Come back again, see us next week. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but
Oh, it'll be good.
yeah, but we got a week to
Yeah,
work on it,
not a big
right?
deal.
Okay, bye.
See y'all later.